All right, let's talk about something that sounds almost too good to be true, a blueprint for turning a small investment into $1 million portfolio. Yeah, we're talking about note investing, and we're going to break it all down.
So here's the big question, right? Can you really take 10 grand and turn it into a cool million? I mean, it sounds like a lottery ticket, but based on the success story we're digging into, the answer isn't just yes. It's a very strategic heck yes.
So think of what we're doing here as unfolding a treasure map. We're literally tracing the path of a real investor, step by step. We're going to look at the strategies, the big milestones, everything. So if you're ready, your journey starts, well, right now. Okay, let's get one thing straight right off the bat. This is not some get-rich-overnight kind of deal. Nope. What we're talking about here is a solid, dedicated plan to build serious wealth. But it takes time. We're looking at a 7 to 10-year horizon. So yeah, definitely a marathon, not a sprint. So where do you even start on a journey like this? Well, your launch pad is something called note brokering. And the really cool thing about it is that you don't need a huge pile of cash to get in the game. But, and listen, this is a really big but. What you save in capital, you have to make up for in pure effort. So what in the world is note brokering? Honestly, the easiest way to think about it is like being a matchmaker for money. You find someone who wants to sell a note, like a mortgage, and then you find an investor who wants to buy it. You connect the dots, make the introduction, and boom, you get paid a commission for making it happen. And getting started really boils down to 4 key moves. First, you've got to do your homework. Seriously, research is king. Then, you start networking. This business is all about who you know. From there, your main job is to hunt down and source the right kind of deals for your investors. And finally, the fun part. You broker the deal, connect the buyer and seller, and collect your commission. All right, so once you've got some steady income rolling in from brokering, it's time to level up. This is where you shift gears from just earning commissions to actually building your own wealth by flipping notes. Let's look at a real-world example here. Imagine you take some of that money you've earned and you buy a performing note for, say, 50 grand. Now, performing just means the borrower is paying on time. This one's got a 6% interest rate, so it's already a solid little moneymaker. But here's the thing, you're not holding this thing forever. The game here is to flip it. Find the right buyer at the right time. And in this example, after just 3 short months, you turn around and sell it for $55,000. And just like that, you've pocketed a $5,000 profit minus some small expenses in only 90 days. I mean, wow. This is the engine that drives the whole strategy. But the most important part isn't just making the profit, it's what you do with it next. And this is where the real discipline comes in. It's so tempting to take that profit and spend it, right? But to really make this work and scale up, you have to be disciplined. The plan is to pour 70, even 80% of your profits right back into the business, to buy more notes, bigger notes. That right there is how you tap into the power of compounding. Now, as you get more advanced, you don't just ditch what you started with. No, you actually build on it. You create this awesome hybrid growth engine where you're doing both, brokering and investing, all at the same time. And these two things work together perfectly. Think about it. Brokering gives you that consistent cash flow, that monthly income. And maybe even more important, it gives you a first look at all the new deals coming through. Then you take that cash and you fuel your investing, which is what builds your long-term, make money while you sleep kind of wealth. It's a beautiful cycle. Okay, let's be real for a second. None of this magic happens if you're buying bad deals. Your absolute best defense, your shield against losing money, is doing your homework, what we call due diligence. And that means you have to check everything. You look at the property, you analyze the borrower, you comb through every piece of legal paper, and you have to know the local market inside and out. No shortcuts here. So how do you know if you're actually on the right track? Well, you set clear goals. You track your progress. Let's take a look at what those monthly income milestones could look like. This is basically your roadmap to $1 million. You start small, right? Aim for that first $1,000 a month just from brokering deals. Once you hit that, you start adding in some small investments to push for $5 grand a month. From there, you just keep expanding, diversifying, and climbing that ladder. $10,000, $20,000, all the way up to $50,000 a month, where you'll probably need a small team to help out. It's a clear, step-by-step path. Okay, let's talk about the final push. This is the end game, the strategies you need to actually cross that $1 million finish line. This is where your operation really grows up.
So getting to that top level means thinking a little differently. You've got to diversify. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. You have to think bigger about scaling up, maybe even bringing on partners. You absolutely have to automate your systems to run efficiently. And the learning never stops. You've got to stay sharp and keep networking to find those hidden gem deals that nobody else knows about.
Look, I know this might all sound like a huge mountain to climb, but just remember this one thing. Every single person who's made it big in note investing, they all started from scratch, exactly where you might be right now. It really is a journey you take one single step at a time.
So there you have it. The blueprint is on the table. The path from 10 grand to $1 million, it's all about following a process, staying disciplined, and putting in the work day in and day out. So I guess the only real question left is, what's your success story going to look like?